Hey, this is Ricky Kennerly Cichlids. In this video we're looking at how to grow out your Dragon Blood Peacocks. Now you may have some success in the past, but this is what I've learned over the years. I saw used in a hatchery that raised peacocks and sold them wholesale. So some of these things you may not know, or some of you may know and not been able to do. But let me give you some examples. This is a 125. Most people have, smaller size aquariums and try to grow out some of these peacocks. And it can take a very long time and they get stunted. Most of these peacocks you see here were in smaller size aquariums. Some were in those aquariums for over a year and really did not grow during that time. So really to have a great success in growing out your Dragon Blood Peacocks, get the biggest aquarium you can, and that will make a huge difference in your growth rate. Another factor that many people have maybe discussed in Facebook groups and in open forums and so forth is when you have your cichlids with other cichlids, sometimes that slows down the growth rate because of the stressors that the other fish can cause by being around the other fish. And this can be the case even with these peacocks, with other peacocks. If you have different strains of peacocks that look different, it can cause stress in these. And this big 125 gallon aquarium is full of Dragon Bloods. That's all it is. It's full of Dragon Bloods. It has no other peacocks in here to stress them so that they will be able to grow to their full potential. Another factor is flow. The flow of the water, the actual how it's turning, how it's moving throughout the aquarium. Flow is a big factor in the growth rate of certain fish. Certain fish, like Frontoses, may not like a whole lot of flow. They like just a gentle movement of the water and do really well in it. With the peacocks, if there's good movement in the water, they're swimming more in the current and they're having to use energy, so they'll eat more, and that's what will cause them to grow more and become more healthy. If they're in a slower flow aquarium, they don't use as much energy, they're not eating as much, they're not staying as healthy, so it does make a big difference if you have a good flow in your aquarium. Filtration is also a big key factor in an aquarium when you're trying to grow out your Dragon Blood Peacocks. A lot of people look at the crystal clear water and say, this is what I want. Well, sometimes your water parameters are not exactly what they need to be and will cause your fish not to do as well because the filtration is not doing as good as it should. Good filtration where you have ammonia broken down to nitrite and then into the nitrate, it works the best for these aquariums. Sometimes people have really fast moving flow of water and the water looks crystal clear and their water quality is bad. So don't always look at the water quality as far as the visual perspective and think that's the best. It's also the parameters, your actual testing of your water. The testing of your water and knowing your parameters are great are what will make a big success for your Dragon Blood Peacocks. Substrate. Substrate is very important in a Dragon Blood Peacock aquarium. Now the types of substrates varies. You can get from very fine minuscule sand up to the big large gravel to big pieces of rock and so forth. But in the nature, where they're from in Africa, of course these are hybrid, but they're what they're descendants of. What causes the Dragon Bloods to be made, those fish are both from Africa, and those fish have sand substrate. What's important about sand substrate is that these fish sift in the sand and stir it up. It allows your aquarium filtration system to get the charge is up, suck it up. Good filtration keeps a better stable environment in your aquarium, no dead spots. As well as they use the sand to do their breeding patterns in. So even though you may be growing out your aquariums, a lot of times you get your growth spurts when the males are in their breeding patterns. Right now this aquarium was just set up a few days ago as far as with the Dragon Bloods. The aquarium itself was set up, but with the Dragon Bloods just a few days ago. And already at least 10 Dragon Blood females are now holding because of their health and their bigger environment, more water to swim in, the water quality, and so forth, and diet. And the next topic we'll look at is diet. There's many things that you can look at as far as diet. A good stable diet is a good pellet. I use floating pellets. You can use sinking pellets, but sometimes they get more likely trapped in like a rock or an ornament, and it can cause more pollution. The floating ones allows them to have more time to get the food before it's sucked up into the filtration system. In this aquarium I have a matin filter, so if it does go to the matin filter, they still can eat it till it's gone, because it doesn't actually suck the pellet into the matin filtration system. So that is very more beneficial to a matin filtration system, as well as on this system it has an algae scrubber. Now you can look at my other videos to see that. But right now we're going to take a good look at some of these Dragon Blood Peacocks and watch them eat one of my specialties that has worked for years to get my fish, all types of cichlids to breed, from your frontoses to your flower horns to mavunas. It really spurts them. They get going very fast. The babies are bigger. They'll be bigger broods. So let's look at what I'm going to feed them. It's time to feed the fish. Now right now you can see the activity in the aquarium. There's lots of swimming around. You see them going to the top because they think I'm feeding them the pellets. This one's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to feed them the specialty food to get your fish breeding very fast and growing very fast. Some people were against it, but then they tried it and then they love it. I got a lot of comments from people who have tried this and they really think it's special, and it should be something that you use to get your Dragon Bloods to grow out. So let's take a moment and look at that. Alright, so I'm going to put the fish food in there. And what is it? It's artificial crab meat. You see them going like crazy? They're just tearing it up. They're not actually letting it even go to the bottom of the aquarium. They're getting it in their mouth, they're hogging it. I hope my arm's not in the way. I'll put some more fish food in there. Let me put some more in there. You see how they get big pieces of it in their mouths and they take off with it. They don't want anybody other fish to get it. They really love it. So let's put a little bit more in there so everybody gets a little bit of it. Alright, they're going to town. I want to get some close-ups on it. Now you see them, they got them in their mouth. They're just running around with it. Really loving it. They're getting the aquarium a little bit stirred up with all the activity. I have some here on the ground here, maybe a little bit too much, but they're ripping into it. You see it in their mouths. They just got a big hunks of it in their mouths. This is really good protein for them. They'll color up very fast as well. It's not just the growth rate that this will affect. It will affect the coloration. Coloration will just take off. And actually, even though they're stirring up the aquarium, this fish food actually keeps the water parameters a little bit better mood, a little bit better quality than say a pellet would. Look at this nice guy. He's got a big chunk and he's wanting to keep it, so he keeps it in his mouth. He won't let some of it go, even though he can't get it all in his belly right now. That's kind of how they all do. and this will cause your Dragon Blood Peacocks to grow tremendously. I recommend about twice a week. You can do it more often. I only feed once a day. Now, I hope you've learned something from this video. If not, maybe give me some ideas, or at least looking at some cool fish. It's never too late to start changing things around, and it brings about excitement. When you try new things in the aquarium hobby, it allows you to learn from your experiences. Don't just take what other people say and promote on Facebook or YouTube or whatever you're getting your information from, because some of those people are really wanting to promote something to sell. The artificial crab meat you can get at your grocery stores, and I wouldn't keep it in your refrigerator longer than about a week once it's open, but you can buy it in small enough packages so you won't have it go bad in your refrigerator. It's readily available in all grocery stores. It's in the meat department of the grocery stores around the fish section. So just look for it there, try it out, and see what you think. I think you'll notice the big difference in the growth rate and the health, the coloration of your fish, and it should make a big difference in your hobby if that's what you're wanting to do. Many of you all have requested some videos on Icebreaker, which will come in the future. Well, Icebreaker's still kicking around. I haven't done videos really in a while, almost a year, except recently. But Icebreaker is still alive. He didn't die during that time. I didn't make videos, so I will be showing a video on Icebreaker. But before that, I want to show you a video which a lot of you actually are more interested in, and that's the Icebreaker offspring. So that will be coming in the future, so look out for that. And keep an outlook on the videos of these Dragon Bloods, because they will grow and get bigger and be breeding and have more coloration. So look for future videos of these Dragon Bloods, because everyone needs some Dragon Blood power.